At this time, the court's going to go on the record and call Bell County cause number 24 DFAM 346,035. This is in the 478 Judicial District Court of Bell County, Texas, and is in the interest of Aiken minor child, not considered party being Cornelia Frank Aiken, considered party being Geraldine Garcia Ibanez, and this matter is before the court on a original petition to see the second parent-child relationship with an announced paternity. Court's taking judicial notice of the court file. Note for the record that both parties have previously been served in this matter. June with Mr. Aiken, and the mother was served in May. So both parties are properly before the court this time under the Texas, in accordance with the Texas Rules of Civil Procedure. So at this time, I ask the state for an opening to tell the court what the state's requesting we do here today, whether or not requesting this to be a temp or a final, and what the issues may be or the agreements may be. Thank you.
Mr. Diamond, you're muted.
So sorry, Your Honor. So state would love a final if the court finds that's appropriate. Don't know that we'll get there today, though. My understanding is the agreement of the parties, it would be joint managing conservatorship. And then I believe that's where the agreements end. So I think you're going to hear a lot of evidence of disharmony. I believe Mom will testify that she's not comfortable with. I don't know if she's going to tell the court she wants no access or she wants supervised access. I think she's going to testify that there's been issues with drugs and alcohol and the company that the father keeps. I'm sorry, excuse me. She's okay with visitation in a public setting, I believe will be her testimony. I don't believe there's going to be any testimony about abuse or threats, but I will ask questions to that effect and request the court to make a ruling if necessary. I think that there's been other issues where they were living together and then they tried to reconcile. So my understanding is that they were reconciled between April and October of this year. But then things went downhill really quickly towards the end. I believe that Mr. Aiken owns the residence. I believe he asked Ms. Ibanez to leave, and he had to get the police involved, or chose to get the police involved. Not sure which one it is. Anyway, so there's going to be those issues. And then I believe the testimony will be that Mr. Aiken is between jobs. So the state is requesting the court to set based off of minimum wage. I don't know if the parties are going to agree to that or not, but I believe that's appropriate. I believe the testimony be 1 in, 4 out. And then I believe Ms. Ibanez is requesting retroactive support to January. I believe that Mr. Aiken is opposed on the grounds that they were living together for at least part of that time, and I think that he'll testify that he was paying the bills, even the times where they were not together. So I realize there's a lot that the state is requesting the court to set out, or to sort out, excuse me.
All right, folks, it does sound like it, and I'm not sure if we're going to be able to get a final on this matter, but I'll wait to hear some testimony and make sure I can come to an appropriate decision today and finalize this matter if I can. If not, or see about making sure that I don't need to appoint an ad litem for the child, because it sounds like there's a problem with that going forward. So let's see what we got going, and we'll try to figure it out and see whether or not this is going to be the final or not, but it doesn't sound like it. So at this time, especially with, let me get some testimony and see what Dad's circumstances are. So at this time, I want to ask both of you to raise your right hands, and let's get some testimony, and we'll take it from there. You both solemnly swear or affirm your testimony going to give your days the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right, you both can put your hands down, and the state can call you as witnesses. It's going to call you both as witnesses. If there's anything that didn't come out during your general testimony that you think is pertinent to what the court does here today, I'll allow you to give the court that testimony so long as it's pertinent to what we're doing here today. You're your own lawyers, and I got to hold you to that standard, but you just can't, you can only tell the court that things that are relevant to the day's hearing. So I'll go ahead and let the state call you as witnesses, and we'll get this one started. You may proceed at this time, Mr. Diamond. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. I call Miss Ibanez. Ma'am, will you state your full name, please?
My name is Geraldine Ibanez.
Okay. So my understanding is that you are in agreement that you and Mr. Aiken would be joint managing conservators. Is that correct?
Well, yes.
All right. Okay, ma'am. It's not joint custody. It's just that you both share rights jointly going forward. The same rights you would share if y'all were still together as parents. It's that kind of thing. All right. But
Right.
This doesn't mean joint custody. It just means that, hey, you're the parents and the court will set that up. Thank you.
All right. So
you.
yes, Your Honor. So all right. So let's talk about the possession and access, because it sounds like that's going to be the biggest issue here. My understanding is that you would only want Mr. Aiken to have access to the child in a public setting. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And it looks like Caden is what, just turned 2?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, he is already 2 years and 6 months.
Sorry, bad math on my part. All right. So you realize it's a big deal to say that, one of the parents cannot have unsupervised, that they have to be supervised, which is what it sounds like what you're asking for here. So, what are the safety concerns that you're asking the court to consider?
I don't want Mr. Aiken to bring our child in that woman's house, because when I caught him.
All right. So I'm sorry.
Slow down, man. All right. All right. You got to be able. I'll let the state ask questions. It's going to get me a little longer version of this. And here's the deal, ma'am. If he's got a new girlfriend or whatever, that in and of itself is not going to be sufficient for me to not order some type of visitation. You're going to have to show or prove that somehow someone he's associated with will be an actual harm to your child, and this is not the new girlfriend, new boyfriend scenario that I've heard 10,000 times before. But I'll let the state expand on that. All right. So, and don't say that woman. You need to tell the court specific names. Thank you.
Okay. So let's start. Let's go one at a time, Ms. Ibanez. Mr. Aiken has a new girlfriend. Is that correct?
Yes.
What's her name?
Ibona Harris.
Okay. And you have, yes or no, you have safety concerns with Miss Harris?
They both smoke weed.
Okay. All right. So that's a yes. And one issue is marijuana usage. What?
Yes.
Did they smoke in front of the children?
I want to know if he got my son, but I know for sure they smoke in front of me. So
okay.
Why not with my child?
Yes, ma'am. All right. So in addition to the marijuana usage, are there other substances that are of concern to you?
They are a heavy drinker.
Both of them?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know if Mr. Aiken has been charged with any crimes or misdemeanors involving alcohol use?
Well, he had a DUI. He had so many arrests this year.
When did he have the DWI?
When he was in I believe this year.
Okay.
Yes.
And you said there's been other arrests as well?
Yeah, so many things. Arrested with marijuana, I think. Arrested with not. It's so many. I couldn't.
Okay. Do you know
in jail for so many?
Okay. So do you know the status of any of his criminal charges? Has he actually been to court? Has he been convicted?
Already. It's finished.
Okay.
All right. I'm sorry, ma'am. All right, here. You say it's finished. You know what were they dismissed? Were there convictions? What are we talking about? Do you know?
I think it was dismissed.
All right, ma'am. Well, he's still an innocent man.
That's for my understanding, Mr. Judge.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
All right. So was there some sort of concern with cocaine as well?
That part, I have no idea.
Okay. Has he ever admitted to you that he uses cocaine?
No.
Um, okay, so you've talked about possible alcohol use and possible marijuana use. Are there other safety concerns you have with either Miss Aiken or Miss Harris? Excuse me, Mr. Aiken or Miss Harris?
Well, I guess that's the only thing I'm concerned about but then when they are so drunk, I don't know if I would let my kids with them.
Okay. When's the last time that you saw Mr. Aiken intoxicated? Like you saw, not heard about?
He's drunk almost every day.
Yes, ma'am.
They
When's the
go-
last time you observed him intoxicated?
Last week.
What was the setting where you saw him intoxicated?
Well, I was trying to be okay with his girlfriend.
We're not talking about the
Because-
girlfriend. When's the last time? Tell me what was going on when you saw him intoxicated.
Oh, last week when we went out to, it was a Halloween. We went to the haunted house. That's when he brought like 2 bottles of alcohol.
Okay, but you said that he was intoxicated. So was his speech slurred? Was he stumbling? How did you know that he was
Yes.
intoxicated? Both of those?
Yes,
Okay, before that, when's the second to last time you saw him intoxicated?
that's the last time I saw him because he doesn't live here.
Okay, when you were together, how many times a week was he getting intoxicated?
When he goes to party, that's when he's so drunk.
Okay, so are we talking like a weekend thing, or is this every night he's tying one on?
He party all the time. I can't remember when, how many times.
Okay. It just I realize you're giving broad statements. If I was the court, I don't know that I'd be able to do much with what you're saying. So is the alcohol going to interfere with his ability to be a parent?
I guess no. I guess not.
Well, I mean, are we talking like he gets home at 5 o'clock and by 6 o'clock he's wasted, or are we talking he's a social drinker who maybe has a couple too many at the party? I mean, that's really what we're trying to distinguish here. Can he be moderate or stay off the stuff when he has a child? I think that's really the issue. I mean, I'm not the court, but I'm guessing if I was the court, that's the question I'd want answered.
Yeah, I think he can be sober when he has my child.
Okay. So would you maybe like if the court were to order that neither of you consume alcohol when you're in possession of the child? Would something like that make you feel a little safer?
I'm sorry, can you repeat again?
Yes. So let me suggest something, and you tell me what you say. And that doesn't mean that that's what the court is going to do, but I can suggest it. So the suggestion is, the court has the discretion to order that neither of you consume alcoholic beverages while you have the child. So if the court were to so order, would that make you feel a little safer about Mr. Aiken having your child?
Yes.
Okay. Does he live with Miss Harris?
Yes.
Okay. Are you aware of whether or not she has a drinking problem?
She has a drinking problem.
Okay. So again, how severe are we talking? Are we talking she has a few too many at parties, or is this an everyday kind of thing?
Well, every time I've seen her a few times, but like she always drunk when I see her.
Yes, ma'am. Okay. And so let's talk about when did you and Mr. Aiken initially separate?
Almost initially after this, he started, I think it was the end of September or September, I believe.
I'm sorry, you and you separated this September or September of 2023?
September. I believe in September.
Of this year?
Yes.
Okay. So do I understand correctly, you and Mr. Aiken were together beginning April of this year and ending sometime in September of this year?
Yes.
Okay. But you were also broken up sometime last year too, is that correct?
Yes, for almost 4 months.
Okay, so you would have separated around Thanksgiving or Christmas of 2023. No, I'm sorry. You got back together. Let me keep these
No,
dates straight in my head.
Actually, he's been partying last year. Actually, it was officially January, and trying to work it out, everything, but he still keep partying until I found out that he had her already, and then so he lived with her.
Okay. All right. So
For a few
let me
months.
here's a better way I should have asked this. When's the last time you and Mr. Aiken lived under the same roof?
September.
Okay. So it was April of this year until September of this year you were living together?
Yes.
I gotcha. So I guess just from September till today, what kind of financial support has he provided?
Except for living in this place, in his house.
I'm sorry, he let you live under his roof even though you weren't together?
Well, he didn't let me, but he chose to move out to live with his girlfriend.
I see. So he owns the residence, but he was allowing you to stay there until recently?
Yes.
Okay. And then did he ask you to leave at some point?
He want me to leave really badly so that he can move in with his new girlfriend.
Okay. And then at some point, did he call the police to have you removed?
Have him removed? I'm sorry.
When did he call the police to have you removed?
None.
Okay. I should have asked this sooner, but what are you doing for health coverage for the child?
I'm sorry. Say it again.
Yeah, I should have asked this earlier, but what type of health coverage do you have for the child?
Oh, Medicaid, sir.
Okay.
Excuse me.
So you've talked about the drinking and the marijuana use. Do you have any other reasons, any other safety concerns with Mr. Aiken knowing where you live?
That's all.
Okay. I'll pass a witness, Your Honor.
All right, ma'am. What do you do for a living right now?
I have I'm sorry, I want to explain it, but I have Airbnb, but it's not like every day booked. And on the side, I do DoorDash.
Okay. And without giving away your location, ma'am, I'm not gonna get into that. Are you and the child still in Bell County?
I am sorry, I did not hear you, sir.
Are y'all both still? You and the child still living in Bell County?
Yes, Judge.
All right. And when's the last time the father has seen the child?
Last night when he came over.
Okay. And how often is he normally seeing the child? Once a week, twice a week, 3 times a week? What?
I want him to have time with our son, but he does not want to have to spend time with him.
That wasn't my question. How often is he actually seeing the child?
None.
Okay. So he hasn't seen the child since y'all separated until last night?
He's seen the child, but no like activities. Only when he comes here and gets his clothes, that's when he only say hi to his son.
All right, ma'am. Are you still living in this residence? I thought the testimony was that the police had you removed.
Well, I'm the one to call the cops because I wasn't comfortable with him being here.
Okay, so but you're still living in his residence?
Yes.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, thank you.
Mm.
All right, any other questions at this time, Mr. Diamond?
No, Your Honor.
All right, ma'am, I'll be back to you in just a moment. Call your next witness, please.
Mr. Aiken, sir, will you state your full name, please?
Yes, sir. As Coniella Frank Chester Ken Jr.
Ken, excuse me. So, Mr. Ken, my understanding is you and Miss Ibanez agree to a joint managing conservatorship. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. My understanding is that your request to the court would be standard possession. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. When's the last time you saw your child?
I seen him last night.
Okay. And before then, when was the last time you saw?
I go to the house about every 2 or 3 days just to check on things in the house. And the only time I can catch my son is in the morning time. And she's gone all day. I don't have no contact with her because she has me blocked. And the other times will be at night when they're sleeping.
All right. So I guess what I'm hearing you say is you made some sort of effort in that direction, but you've been blocked. Is that
Yes, sir.
an overstatement?
That's
Okay.
correct.
Okay. How many other children do you have?
I have 4 other children.
And do any of them live with you, or do you pay child support for any of them?
I pay child support and they do not live with me.
Okay.
But I have a whole nother case with my ex-wife on child support.
I understand. Well, if this number eventually needs to go up, then we can adjust this as needed. But okay, so let's talk about the pretty strong allegations that were made. Have you ever been charged with DWI?
I was charged for DWI last year in March, and the case never went anywhere. It was in South Padre Island, and I wasn't driving. I was dancing outside of my vehicle. It was 12 o'clock on a dead-end street, and the cops asked me what I was doing. I told them I just drove 6 hours to go to spring break, and I had the music going. There's a lot of people out there. It was good energy, good vibes, and I just started dancing outside the vehicle. So she makes me do a sobriety test, and I couldn't balance on one leg and hold the other one, and stare straight. But they blew my alcohol. I think 0.08 was the limit, 0.07 was the limit, and I drew 0.08. So they tried to charge me DWI. I went back to court for it, and the judge was sick, so they reset my date.
Okay, sir, I don't need to know the history.
Okay, I'm sorry.
What happened to it?
I never went back. I bonded myself out. I bonded myself out $2,500. I don't know if they took that money and just paid the ticket, but I never heard anything from it.
Okay, that's allowed to still be out there. Have you checked into it?
I've called them, yes, sir, and they just tell me I need to go up there and speak to the judge.
Okay, yeah, all right. Yeah, that may be problematic. All right, thank you. You may proceed, Mr. Diamond.
Yeah, yes, Your Honor. Thank you. So let me ask you some maybe more limited questions about other criminal matters, and it may not be in your best interest to give long answers. So the just simple question is, have you ever been charged with anything else?
Possession of marijuana. And
when were you charged with possession of marijuana?
Possession of marijuana was last year.
Okay.
May.
What resulted from the charges?
It was dropped. They suspended my license for 6 months, and I had to pay a ticket.
Okay. Do you have a drinking problem?
No, sir. I don't drink every day. I have a couple of shots when I go out. I like to dance. That's how I get my cardio. And so I probably go out maybe twice a month. To the club, dance for a couple hours, and I drink. I come home, sweat it out.
Would you have any objection if the court were to order you not to consume alcohol when you have your son?
No, sir. I don't drink when when I'm with my kids. That's more of a night thing. Okay.
Is the marijuana still an issue with you?
I do use marijuana, and I will continue to use it.
if the court orders you not to have it around the child and not to use it around the child, is that going to be an issue?
Right. I don't smoke around children.
Uh,
No, it wouldn't be an issue.
okay. Let's talk about the work situation. What are you? My understanding is you're between jobs. Is that correct?
I'm self-employed. I have my own air conditioning business since 2009.
You're on what, sir? I'm sorry, sir. I couldn't hear you.
I'm self-employed. I have my own air conditioning business.
Air conditioning. Thank you.
Yes, sir. I do HVAC. This year has been really rough. I've lost 80% of my workload. I have a disability I'm dealing with. I'm hardly working this year at all. This is my worst year by far since I started. I'm struggling financially. I'm in a midlife crisis. I'm behind in all my bills. Credit cards are maxed out. I'm about to lose everything. Attorney General has my license on suspension. I can't even renew it next year because I'm a year behind child support on my other case, and they're about to try to take my driver's license away as well.
All right. You said that there's a disability, or is that through the VA, or what?
Yes, sir. I applied for disability. I have arthritis, corpus tunnel. I've got just all kinds of deals, but it's still pending. The application is not final yet. So I don't really know what's going on with it. I need to go to the Social Security office and figure it out. I have restrictions as far as my work. I'm not supposed to work more than part-time. I can't lift heavy things. Not supposed to be climbing up and down ladders and stairs. And so,
I understand. Are you a veteran, Mr. Aiken, or Mr. Aken, excuse me?
No, sir.
I'm sorry, you are or you're not? I didn't hear the answer.
No, sir.
No. Okay. All right. So it's the disability would not be through the VA. It'd be through like Social Security.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I understand.
I am set up with Texas Workforce Center. I did apply for a Vivint job for a service technician, a field service technician, and that application is under consideration. My work is seasonal. I'm busy in the summertime. It slows down when the weather changes, and then it'll pick back up in the wintertime when it starts getting cold outside and people start having problems with their heater.
Yes, sir. You remember, I believe we had somebody this morning that talked about the Choices program. Did you hear, do you remember hearing about that?
Yeah, the last time I was in a Zoom meeting with my other case, they recommended me to go to Texas Workforce Center. So I did, and I signed up for it. I applied for a couple of jobs through the system. Like I said, the job is under consideration, the one that I did apply for.
Okay, but
I'm still waiting.
All right, but the court can actually, we have a program called the Choices program, and the court.
Well, I like he's already in it, Mr. Diamond.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm already signed up with it.
Okay. Yes, sir. Sorry, I wasn't understanding that.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, Your Honor. Sorry. So let's talk about you and Miss Ibanez. When did y'all separate?
We separated like end of September, and when things just got rocky between us, and I went back with my ex-girlfriend.
Okay.
And
so I mean, I guess it sounds like there's sort of an on again, off again aspect to this relationship. Is that a accurate statement on my part?
Yes, sir. It's been like that for years.
Okay.
I mean, we've known each other since 2019. Didn't officially hook up until 2021, and we've been off and on since then.
Okay. So. And what type of, have you provided any financial assistance since you separated in September?
Yes, I help pay for daycare for Kaden. Of course, get them clothes and things they need, diapers, wipes. Take them out, food, groceries, and then I am paying all the bills. She doesn't help financially with any of my obligations, and she has her own bills as well, but. She takes care of that on her own, and I'm paying for everything else. But the money's run out, and I just can't keep paying on these bills.
I understand, sir. Your Honor, I'll pass the witness.
All right. Anything else of either witness at this time, Mr. Diamond?
Your Honor, I don't even know that my questions are going to be able to get the court what the court wants today. I apologize.
All right. Mr. Diamond, I got to get it. I was trying to get out of it, not doing an ad litem in this case, but I got to get an ad litem, and I'm not going to order drug testing at this point, but I may end up having to do it. So, okay. So I am looking at pointing an ad litem in this one because I got way more questions than I have answers. I need someone to find out what's still pending out there, what all convictions were, that sort of thing. If there's still that DWI pending down in I'm not sure if he said, I forgot what he said.
South Padre Island.
South Padre. Okay, I was going to say, South Padre. And like I said, I'll leave it at that ladder whether or not they think it's going to be in their client's best interest to get for me to order drug testing on both parents. But yeah, I got more questions than answers here today, and sir, the mother is living in. You said the residence she's living in. You own it.
Yes, sir. I don't own it. I rent.
Okay, so yes, it's a lease. And when is that lease up?
I'm on a month-to-month contract. I don't have a lease.
Okay.
I pay my rent. I get to stay there for 30 days.
All right. And the rent's current?
Yes, sir. But I don't know if it's going to get paid next month. The water is already shut off because the bill was $580 because she let the water run all day long, and the electricity is getting cut off because the payment was declined, and the gas is still on.
Okay. And sir, do you still live in Bell County?
Yes, sir.
All right. All right, then let's go. Folks, this is, well, to say this is a mess is an understatement, but I'm getting ready to give your child a lawyer. Let the lawyer do the investigation that's necessary to give the court some hands-on eyewitness information that the lawyer will be able to get, because under Texas law, the attorney I appoint has to do a home visit, has to talk to both of y'all, do all those other things. Now, the fact that the child's 2 years old, well, I can make this a straight out attorney ad litem on this one, Mr. Diamond. And let me bring up my list. All right, let's go with Ms. Garcia on this one. I'm going to appoint Carmen Garcia as the attorney ad litem for this child. I'm going to specifically in there leave it up to her to determine what we're going to be looking at as far as any type of drug testing. Sounds like mom may be moving real soon here, so I'm going to need to make sure she has a way to contact both of them, their cell numbers and their email addresses. So at this time, folks, like I said, I'm giving the child a lawyer. The lawyer's going to do the investigation, do the footwork for this court, and get all the necessary data. I'm going to have the attorney do a search for current criminal charges that are pending and criminal charges and criminal convictions, if any, on both of y'all. I'm going to go ahead and, like I said, leave it up to her whether or not she wants me to order drug testing at this time. And if she does, I'm going to order her to go ahead and set it up and send me the bill. I'll do the drug testing at the facility in Harker Heights. So both of y'all need to, if that's the case, y'all need to get there, and she will let y'all know that one way or the other. But again, I'm gonna leave it up to her because for right now I was looking at doing it, but I'm gonna go ahead and leave it up to her whether or not she thinks it's necessary. And do we have Ms. Garcia coming back anytime next month? Ms. Walker, so I can set this up for a pre-trial then, because I know she's not gonna get a chance to finish get anywhere close to the end of this one by the end of the year. But I want to set it up for a pre-trial where I can get some type of schedule on what she needs and how long she's going to need to do it.
And I'm checking that right now, Your Honor.
Okay.
Your Honor, she's going to be here on December 16th.
All right, that's good. That gives us a little bit more than a month at least get started. and she can update me on where mom's living and where dad's living and all this other stuff. But right now, sir, are you seeing who are you seeing as your physician? Are you seeing a regular doctor at this point?
I have a regular doctor, Dr. Mitchell here in Killeen.
All right, then. I may need the lawyer will figure out whether or not she's going to ask you to sign off on a release, allow her to talk to your doctor, because I really don't like trying to call doctors in on the subpoena. They don't show up. They get the hospital to quash the subpoena, so we don't usually deal with them. But anyway, but I am going to need both of your permissions right now to have the state give the lawyer your email addresses and your phone numbers.
Yes, sir.
That's okay with you, mistaken?
Yes, sir.
And you, Ms. Abanas?
I am sorry, I did not hear you, Mr. Judge.
All right, I need your permission to give your child's, the lawyer I just appointed your child, to give that lawyer your email address and your phone number. Is that all right?
Yes, sir.
All right, then. All right, folks, I'm going to go ahead and look at ordering temporary child support this time, Mr. Diamond. I'm not sure what to do here with Dad. I'm probably I'll go ahead and go with minimum wage for this 1 month. But again, he's got, but since y'all, it sounds like Austin's trying to take his HVAC license and his driver's license. This is all going to, this may end up being a minimum wage thing going forward, unless he can get that settled out or get something going with NCP choices. And I'll in the order have the ad litem also check up on where he stands with NCP choices at this point. Sir, are you still active with them, or are you inactive?
I'm active.
All right, then let's see what that is. But for right now, I'm going to go ahead and order a temporary child support. I'll use the minimum wage presumption for now. And does the state done the calcs on that?
Yes, Your Honor. I'm sorry I didn't provide that earlier.
Okay.
Your Honor, we have 157 on the child support and 12 on the medical support.
All right, that's what I'll order. And I'll order that due the first day of December, both those items. I'm going to go ahead and order for right now. Sir, you kind of admitted under oath that you use a controlled substance in the state of Texas. So I'm only going to order temporary visitation the first, third, and fifth Saturdays of the month from 1 to 5 at a location that's agreeable to both of y'all. If not, for right now, I'm going to go ahead and leave it at the dad's residence but I'm not sure how much longer he's going to have that residence. So, but for right now, I'll go with first, third, and fifth Saturdays of the month from 1 to 5. And I'm going to order, like I say, appointed ad litem, and I'm going to order everybody back here for a pre-trial with the ad litem. And I think Ms. Walker said the 16th of December.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so here's what I'm doing, folks. I'm giving the child a lawyer. The lawyer's going to contact both of y'all. I'm going to go ahead and order Dad to pay temporary child support and temporary cash medical. And I'm going to go ahead and order a Saturday visitation with the child for 4 hours every the first, third, and fifth Saturdays of the month. And for right now, y'all can agree on a different spot. But it sounds like right now y'all been doing it at the residence, so y'all can continue to do it at the residence. But for y'all can agree to anything else other than that. If Dad and you agree that he can come over, then that's fine. But right now I'm setting it on that first, third, and fifth Saturdays. And I'm going to let the ad litem come back and tell me, based on her 30-day investigation, what she's going to request. And she's going and I'm on board with her requesting drug testing of both parties. I'm looking at hair follicle testing, urinalysis, and I'm looking at trying to get some type of concrete calendar of where you and each of you have lived with that child over the last 2 years, and the exact date y'all were apart. So I can figure out what to do as far as the final law is concerned, and going forward, what the ad litem wishes to do about after. And a lot of this is going to have to do with what she finds out as far as current pending criminal charges and convictions. Because what I'm really worried about, sir, is that you're not sure about that thing down in South Padre. And I want to make sure that there's not a warrant out there for your arrest because of a failure to appear at a court hearing down in South Padre. That is a heck of a long drive. I hate that drive.
Yes, sir.
You know, and if they said if you were at a hearing, the judge wasn't there, and they reset it, and you didn't show back up, there might be a nice warrant out for your arrest, sir. Because that worries the daylights out of me. But I want to find that out also.
Yes, sir.
Anyway, I'm gonna look at all that, and let's come back and we'll try to come up with some further temporary orders after I get a few more answers from on all your circumstances when we come back in December. I'm probably not looking at the final order, but I'm looking at an update and to see what we're going to look at going forward with a little bit more information. So
yes, sir.
I'm going to start with you, sir. Questions?
No, sir. It's just as far as contact for the visitation. I just show up and hopefully she's there. And because I can't.
I'm going to go ahead. It's going to be part of the court order. I'm going to order both of y'all to start using a parenting app. We're going to we'll go straight out with. Let's see. I had another parenting app that I've been looking at. Well, let's see.
And then after this, are we free to go, or do we have to wait until the rest of the cases are finished?
No, this is going to be y'all. I'm going to try to finish y'all up for the day here.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. No. I'm sorry. I'm gonna stick with app close on this one. I hadn't had enough experience with those others, so I'm gonna go ahead and order both of y'all to download and put on your cellular devices a parenting app called App Close, APPCLOSE. And going forward, y'all need to use that going forward. And sir, as far as the Saturday visitation, you need to let her know at least 24 hours in advance if you're going to show up for your Saturday visitation with your child. Y'all can agree to something different. But you need to let her know through App Close that you're showing up on that date as per the 4 hours that you're court ordered to do. Ma'am, you're ordered to be there at that time because that's now part of the court order. And we'll take everything else up when we come back in December. Next question, sir.
That was it, sir.
All right. Now, ma'am, questions?
Yes, Judge.
Any questions, ma'am?
What's going to happen now that is I don't have a place to stay yet, but he has to wait until I move out. So can he still kick me out? Because he always do that.
Okay, here's the deal, ma'am. I can't give you legal advice. I'm the judge. Right now, my understanding is that's his lease. It's a month to month, and that's left up to him and his landlord. Okay, so, but I can't give you advice on where to live or how to set that up, ma'am. I can order him to pay some temporary child support, and that's it. Next question, ma'am.
Can I tell him right now to turn on the water because his son needs the water?
Okay, ma'am. Again, I can't. That's beyond my purview. You can ask him to do it, but I can't. That's beyond my purview.
Okay.
Man, it sounds like to me you got to find a new place to live because he doesn't have the funds, and it sounds like he's getting ready to lose it. Okay. I can't tell you to do it, but again, you need to do what's in your child's best interest. But if you do move, you need to let the ad litem know where you're moving to, because one of the things she has to do is come to the residence. And she comes to a residence without water and electricity and all that. That's not good. Not good at all. All right, because I want to make right that she's not going to do it. Well, I know she won't do it. But if all those items are off and protective services gets involved, yeah, you're going to have problems.
Well, because he turned it off on himself.
Okay, here's the deal, ma'am. The circumstances are the circumstances. I can't order him. I can only order him to pay child support. And since that's not his property and y'all are not married, I can't order him to do anything else separate than that. Next question, ma'am.
And what's going to happen if he failed to see his child?
Okay, here's the deal, ma'am. I can't make him come see his child. I gave him the first, third, fifth Saturdays from 1 to 5, and he has to let you know through App Close, APPCLOSE. I don't want y'all texting. I don't want y'all calling. I want something that's verifiable by the court. That's the parenting app. And you need to download that and put that on your cellular device. And he has to let you know at least 24 hours in advance that he's coming over. And if he doesn't let you know within that 24 hour, before that 24-hour time frame, ma'am, then you don't have to be worried about being there for any type of visitation.
Okay.
Next question.
That's it, sir. That's all.
All right, then. All right, man. All right. Is there any, now I'll go to the state. Questions of either party at this time, Mr. Diamond?
Not questions of the party, Your Honor. There were maybe two other things that I was going to ask for some clarification on.
All right.
I take it the geographic restriction to Bell and contiguous.
Yeah, that's granted until further order.
And then I'm guessing
and in case mom needs to move with, ma'am, where is your family? Where do they live?
My family is back home. They're in Philippines.
Okay. All right then.
I have no family.
You have no one in, you have no family in the state of Texas?
No, I do not.
All right then. All right then. I tell you what. Yeah, I'll make it Bella contiguous and throw in Travis County if necessary, and throw in Travis County. Yes, Your Honor. When we come back, you can't live anywhere else other than Bell County or a county that touches Bell County or Travis County, which means if you're going to move, you have to move somewhere either in Bell County, Lampasas County, Coryell County, Falls County. I'm thinking Hamilton County might even touch us, Williamson County or Travis County, which is Austin. Those are the places you could live if you move in the next 30 days before we come back in here. All right. Next question, Mr. Diamond.
And then it sounds like the court is denying non-disclosure.
Yeah, for now.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. All right. Anything else then, Mr. Diamond?
Nothing further, Your Honor. Thank you for the time that was involved here today. I'm sorry it took so much of it.
All right, folks. The lawyer's name is Carmen Garcia. She's going to be in contact with both of y'all to see about what's going on and getting an update on each of your circumstances. And hopefully, with some of this, will settle out by the time we come back. But yeah, I don't think 30 days is going to be long enough to fix most of the problems in this case. But I will see y'all back here on Zoom on the 16th with the child's lawyer, and we'll figure this one out going forward. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Judge.
All right. We're off the record.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're all welcome. Have a good Thanksgiving, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.